Hello dear children, welcome back to my talks and standard 12th biology. Okay, so as you all know, we've already started with organism and population. Okay, so here today we are going to take adaptations. Now children, you very well know what is adaptation, isn't it? So let's refresh. Okay, so once more I will tell and you try to speak it wherever you are seeing it. Okay, adaptation is the changes which takes place either morphologically, physiologically or behavioral changes, okay, which helps to cope up with the changing environment. Whichever environment we are surviving, we are living, okay, it helps us to live better in that particular environment. So for that, whatever changes takes place either in behavior or it takes place in physiology, in working of the body, or it takes place morphologically, that is outside. Okay, so that is what is adaptation. And adaptation definitely helps the organism to cope better and gives the survival rate, for the organisms which can adapt themselves. For them, it is much more as compared to those who are not able to adapt. Okay, so that is what is adaptations. Normally I keep telling children, okay, you see South India, okay, the Kerala side, the Tamil Nadu and all, okay, people have little darker, or you go to some the completely a different country, South Africa side, okay, they have little darker skin. Now that is in order to cope up with that particular temperature, that particular climate, environmental conditions, okay, and the melanin production is more, so that is what takes place. Here also in north side you see people little fairer, then as we move towards south little darker, okay, that is again the morphological, the skin changes, the melanin production, okay, that is affected and that is how the body copes up. Okay, then this is what is actually adaptation. So these changes in the body, okay, whether it is morphological, it is physiological or it is in behavior, okay, it helps us to survive and it also helps the organism for reproduction. So two functions they carry out, adaptations, that is survival, they are able to survive better and they are able to reproduce. It means they are able to produce organisms of their own kind. Okay. Then let's talk about some of the organisms, okay, what adaptive methods they bring about in their bodies. So normally let's talk about American desert, whatever is there in your text in NCERT, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so the first example that is given is American desert rat. Okay, so how does this particular rat, what is so specific in this particular rat that helps it to survive in deserts? Okay, first of all, the water, okay, it is able to concentrate its urine, okay, so that minimal amount of water, okay, is discharged in the form of urine along with the waste. And the next one, the internal fat, okay, so it helps to derive little of water with the help of the internal fat which it possesses in its own body. Okay, digestion of internal fat, metabolism of internal fat, you can say. Okay, so that is how it is adapted. Now desert plants, the plants which survive in desert, they have sunken stomata. Now why sunken stomata? So that they are not open towards the, you can say, the outermost layer. Normally stomatas are present towards the external regions, okay, and this is sunken so that photosynthesis can be prevented, transpiration can be avoided. Transpiration is water loss, you know very well. So this is what is the desert plants. Desert plants, again, the leaves are modified into spines, okay, so that transpiration can be reduced. And here CAM, process of photosynthesis, that takes place. Now CAM mein kya hota hai? That stomata remains closed during the daytime. Okay, so this is what is about the desert plants. The leaf is reduced, okay, so that the surface, the area, so that loss of water is reduced. Next we come to the mammals living in the polar areas. Yes, all those mammals which live in polar areas, they have actually shorter ears. कान छोटे होते हैं और limbs जो हाथ पैर होते हैं वो भी छोटे होते हैं. Okay, क्योंकि in order to reduce the surface area, to minimize the heat loss, ताकि हीट जो बॉडी से लूज हो वो कम हो. ओके, तो ये एरिया धीरे धीरे कम होता है, द बॉडी इज रिड्यूस्ड. देन नेक्स्ट इज ऑल्टीट्यूड सिकनेस. यस, जैसे हम हाइट्स पे जाते हैं, अगर हम मनाली के बारे इफ यू टॉक अबाउट, इफ यू गो टू मनाली और यू गो टू even Vaishnav Devi, last time when I went, okay, I was really experiencing this altitude sickness. Okay, so you have to experience it yourself. या प्लेन पे जब फ्लाइट जब लेती है प्लेन, okay, जैसे वो राइज होता है, so that time you experience this altitude sickness. Okay, तो ऑल्टीट्यूड सिकनेस है क्या? नॉर्मली यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग वॉमिटिंग, नोजिया, ओके, लिटिल ऑफ नर्वसनेस, एंड दिस इज बिकॉज द ऑक्सीजन लेवल एट हायर ऑल्टीट्यूड्स इज लेस. Okay, so at that particular time the body is not able to cope up with that environment. So slowly but you will see that yes, you feel like normal. Now how does the body cope up with that altitude sickness? Okay, because the number of it starts producing the red cells, you know. Okay, so RBCs का प्रोडक्शन थोड़ा सा बढ़ा लेता है और ऊपर से it starts taking in more of oxygen from outside because less oxygen is available at higher altitudes, तो ऑक्सीजन थोड़ा ज्यादा लेने की कोशिश करता है. So these are the two reasons, or you can say these are the two ways, okay, by which it copes up with altitude sickness. And then there are other organisms, जैसे बहुत सारे you see the frogs and all. Okay, so how do they cope with extreme cold as we have? Okay, or snakes. So what do when it is very very cold? They burrow inside. Okay, they go inside, they burrow and they go inside. कहीं भी अंदर जाके छुप जाते हैं और जैसे फेवरेबल टेम्परेचर होता है तो बाहर निकलते हैं. या बहुत गर्मी होती है, बहुत ठंडी होता है, तो दिन के समय यू मस्ट हैव सीन snakes lying down in the sun, basking in the sun, you can say. Okay, so that is what takes place with the lizards which live in deserts. Okay, तो डे टाइम के लिए वो अंदर चले जाते हैं, नाइट के समय जब बहुत ठंड होती है तो बाहर आके बास करते हैं सन में. या burrowing in order hibernation and estivation you must have studied, if you remember. Estivation is summer sleep, hibernation winter sleep. Okay, so this is what it is related with, in order to avoid extremes of temperature. Okay, that is how these organisms adapt themselves. Okay, and then we come to Antarctic fishes. The question is asked. Okay, so how do these Antarctic fishes survive in colder regions? Okay, so they actually, children, have antifreeze proteins, okay, which definitely protects their body from getting frozen. So that is what these fishes have, and that is why these fishes are able to survive. And you see quite many microorganisms. We have the bacteria, okay, the algae. They have a wider range of survival. Okay, like our body, 37 degrees centigrade. After that, we start feeling hot, we start feeling cold. Okay, so these are we cannot survive extremes of temperature. The body has to be coping up. But here, those microorganisms, they have a wide range of survival. So they are able to survive, and for the fishes, this is what is the answer. So if you have any doubts regarding this particular topic, do ask me, okay, and get your doubts clear. I'm going to clear it, answer your questions, okay. And again, as I've been telling you, subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed, and do like and share it with your friends. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching. Thank you all.